paintball is a rich kid's sport. I know that's a hot take, but I'm saying this for a reason. There are so many of you out there who love paintball so much, but their parents don't make enough money to spend $50 to $80 to $100 every weekend just to play the game. Paintball is unique in that you're buying the equipment you need to play every single time you play it. And that, of course, is referring to the paint. So no other sport, you have to replace the ball every time. And it's 2,000 balls. And those 2,000 balls can cost $50, $80, $100, $200 if you're in Canada. But there are some things that we can do to lower the cost of the game, that you can do to lower the cost of the game. And that's why I'm making this video. Now, the inspiration for this comes from Instagram. And so this DM wasn't the standard nonsense. This DM was actually really special. And the standard nonsense is, yo, Soup, should I get an invert mini? Is that a good gun? Or just today, what tank should I buy for my invert mini? Do I need an SLP? No, you don't. Stop spending money on expensive regs for normal to mid-end guns. You only need an expensive reg if you're shooting Field 1 or MacDev, or like an old school Angel. But that is besides the point. Let's talk about this special DM I got. So Khalil is really young. He's too young to work. I want to say this kid's like 12, 13, something like that. And his school banned candy. Like, what type of monster bans candy in spooky season? I kind of have an idea, and it's probably a liberal. Let's just put that out there. So Khalil's school has candy banned. They're no longer allowed to sell candy through the vending machines at the school cafeteria. And Khalil is sitting there thinking, you know what? I think this is like a money-making opportunity. When I was that young, I was only playing paintball once or twice a year, maybe 4 times if I got some really good grades, but it would just be like, hey, can I go to the field? Can I go to the field? Let's go to the field. Oh, it's too far. It's too expensive. And those excuses sucked. Like, I could have been playing so much more paintball at a young age if like my parents were all in on it. And I remember like doing everything I could to make paintball cheaper. So what Khalil was telling me really resonated with me in the past. So Khalil sees this opportunity because the school banned candy, and he has this entrepreneurial spirit, which I'm intending to fully nurture. And I want to see this kid make hella money trapping out candy at school. So he's buying these bags of candy from the store with what little money he has, and he's breaking them down into like these $1 bags, $2 bags, $5 bags, and he's hustling them underground at school. This is absolutely amazing. His love for paintball has actually inspired me. Like, I was feeling really crappy, and I've thought to myself, maybe I'm just gonna make a video about Khalil and his struggle and what he's going to do. And now this is where influencer Soup, YouTuber Soup comes in. I'm gonna bless this kid with a ton of gear. I know in my heart that Khalil was authentic with what he was telling me. He was telling me that he was making money flipping sacks of candy at school, not because he wanted to kind of bait me into sending him some free stuff. I know his intentions were pure, and he was proud of what he was doing, and he wanted to share it with me because that is a very similar vibe to what this channel is all about. So I don't think this kid was looking for clout or looking for me to like dump a bunch of free stuff on him. I think he was just happy to share with me that he found a way to pay for paintball, and that's why he's being rewarded. Alright guys, Scotty here with Wooball for Soup. We are on the emergency Pro Player Mike Urena camera. This is actually Mike's personal camera he wanted to use for his business, but he's going to upgrade to a new one, so he's letting me use this for now. Thank you, Pro Player Mike Urena. Alright dude, so this is Khalil's sponsorship package. I'm going to go through it, unbox Khalil's sponsorship package. Before I even send this out to him, he's getting laced up. Alright guys, we're here in my kitchen with the best lighting in my apartment, and this is Khalil's sponsorship package. So let's go through it item by item. I really wanted to make this extra special for the young legend, to nurture that entrepreneurial spirit and to reward him for hustling for paintball. This is going to change his paintball career, and I'm really happy to be able to do this without the support of the industry. This is from me to Khalil. Me and my friends put this together, not the industry, not Virtue. That Spire's not from Virtue. That's my personal Spire. And let's start here. So this Spire is what Khalil wanted out of his hustle. As he's selling that candy at school, I asked him, hey Khalil, what do you want out of all this? Like, if you're doing this, what's the first piece of gear that you're gonna buy? And he said a Virtue Spire. So this is my personal Spire IR, and I am hooking him up with that for absolutely $0, 0 cents. He's not even paying the shipping. So he's getting a Spire IR. This is the loader that I use, a great loader. And another money-saving tip too, guys, you don't even have to buy the most modern Spire. The original IR works just fine. All right, let's keep it moving. We have the Soup Splash Vicious Fire 2.0 headband. This is one of my rarest pieces of merch. I think there's only like 30 of these floating around out there, and Khalil is definitely getting his hands on one of them. We have a flex build. This thing is a custom flex build. You got the olive bottoms, the black frames, soft ears, bullet bill strap, and he'll be able to upgrade this thing. So it's just like a starting flex build. Still has the chin strap, so it's nice and safe. All right, let's keep moving on. We have Planet Eclipse elbow pads. These are to protect his forearms when he's playing. And they also match his GI Sports pod pack. That's a tournament level pod pack. And guys, nobody in paintball is this generous. I've put together such an awesome sponsorship package for this kid, and I know he's gonna love it. All right, guys, that's an overview of all the swag I'm sending back to Khalil. Let's head back over into the video and talk about some money-saving paintball tips for everyone. We all know that paintball is so expensive, but there are some money-saving tips that not everybody knows about that I want to go over in this video. Maybe they can help you. The first thing is that once you're good enough to make it on a team, the costs of paint get cut, I almost want to say in half. So for say, if you're paying $60 a case at your field, and then you get on the field's factory team, that case of paint gets down to $30. And then you could shoot 2 cases of paint for the same price and get better at paintball and get better sponsorship. So the first pro tip is to join an established X-Ball team that has real sponsors and that has a real paint deal, because the paint deal is your key to getting better at paintball for lower cost. Control the cost of paint, control the costs of your days at the field. That's the best advice I can give you. And I know it's gonna take a little bit until you're talented enough, until you're physically ready to step onto an X-Ball team. So you're gonna be paying out of pocket for that period. But once you're on that team, once you find a family and you get that paint deal, the whole world of tournament paintball opens to you and costs decrease significantly. As somebody who's managed 2 paintball parks in the past, I would always get younger players who are too young to work, who are asking me, hey Scotty, is there something we can do around here so you can cover our costs for the day, so you can comp our entry so we don't have to pay the $20 to get in? Of course, that always should work if your field owner has a big heart or the field manager has a big heart. So even for like airsoft kids, right? I would just say, hey, go around the airsoft field, sweep that shit up, make it look really clean, rearrange the bunkers, do some work on the field. And if they were putting in real labor, they would save that $20 to get in. And the same thing with paintball. If you're gonna shovel the crud paint off the field, if you're gonna squeegee the bunkers, break a sweat, work really hard to prove to me that you love the game, you're gonna be somebody that I keep around to help out, and you're gonna get the benefits of me just giving you comps whenever I can. So those types of people, they prove that they have the heart for the game, and then they put it into action with their labor. So that is my next tip to you. See if you can trade labor with your field for discounts, free entry, free paint. The last money-saving tip I have for you comes in terms of BST. Now, I don't want you guys to get your markers from for-profit resellers. These are guys who don't have a day job, they lurk around, and they buy up all the cheap guns on Facebook, and they add on a $100, $200 tax, and they make a profit. So this is a business, I get it, but those are not the places where you can get the most bang for your buck for used gear. What I recommend you do is to go on Facebook and hopefully in a local group, look for local players who are selling their markers at the lowest price possible. These people don't have to mess around with shipping. They don't have to mess around with PayPal fees because you're paying them in cash. And you get the benefit of actually shooting the marker at the field. So you don't need the latest stuff. You don't have to buy new. You can win an event in 2021 with a marker from 2010, 100% confirmed. And this is especially true because there's no uncapped semi-auto anymore. You don't need a gun that chainsaws 20 balls a second. The ROF cap is 10.5, and that's slow. Any gun can do 10.5. But stuff like an Ego 10, you can play with an Ego 10 that you get for $300 in 2021 and win an event. So buy used, buy player direct, preferably from somebody who knows you. Like if it's your homie, they're going to give you that homie price. So ask other players at the field if they're selling stuff. Keep your eyes open on Facebook for those great sales. And that's how you can gear yourself up for the least amount of money possible. These money-saving tips are coming at you from real-life experiences. When I was very young, I would do things like sweep the entire floor of my indoor field staging area and get every paintball off the floor so I can rebag them, take them home, clean the paint in a towel, and come back the next day with this ground paint. We would call it ground paint. And I would be shooting ground paint for free, and the owners loved it. And they would always comp my entry if I would stay and help out with cleaning, if I would help out reffing a private group. I've had all of these opportunities. By the time I was 16 years old playing local three-mans, our field sponsorship, our paint sponsorship was so good, I would get $20 cases of practice paint. I've had all these opportunities happen to me, and I want this next generation coming up to have the same benefits, and that's why I'm here for you guys.